So yeah, this is Psycholonials. This is an 18 and over story. I'm personally a big fan. The creator of this visual novel is also the creator of Homestuck. Stream quality is good. Thank goodness. I was a bit worried about that today. So we're just going to take a minute to acknowledge how beautiful and wonderful the soundtrack for this game will be. To my knowledge, Clark Powell made a lot of the music for this game. Clark Powell wrote some of my favorite tracks in all of Homestuck. The cello work and piano that we are going to hear is to die for. I do not personally play the cello. Hopefully one of my friends, Spark, may pop in. I'm kind of hoping that they get to see stream today because, y'all, when I tell you I'm in love with the cello of Clark Powell, I do not play many instruments. I am not that musically gifted. So we got the game loaded up in English. Let me see if there's any options. I don't see anything that necessarily is going to bug us. We've got some chapters. Again, this is a visual novel style game. We can go ahead and start. We're going to get real used to that. Chapter 1 of 9, Summer That Never Was. An island sits off the eastern coast of the United States. It's a little over 10 miles wide, and most of the year, a little over 10,000 people deep. They call it a summer colony. When the weather gets warm, the numbers of people pushing down on the island swells to around 50,000. The town here shares its name with the island. You live here. You're one of the residents pushing down on the place year-round. The steady residents don't contribute much weight, though. Off-season life is like a reprieve for the island, like lifting the load off the back of a perennial workhorse. Shout out to horses. The summer crush is a different story. 100,000 feet at once give you the impression the seasonal colonists have all conspired to shove this charming New England rock right back into the ocean. But 2020 is different. You don't see it happening this year. Can't say you're heartbroken about it either. The summer that never was. Shout out to COVID. I'm sure we all have plenty of fond memories of the wonderful year that was 2020. Personally, it was a very hard year for me. Personal wise, I was let go of a job. I was a manager of a shop in my local mall. And I had actually only recently been promoted a few months prior to lockdown. That job let me go without informing me that I was let go, and without informing me that I was replaced. And they offered my job back, which at the time, the pay rate was going to be minimum wage, which was $8.50 in the wonderful state of Florida. And I told them in so many words to go screw themselves. I keep lagging, but I think that's on my end. Is it lagging in terms of just the regular stream delay? Because streams are always going to have a delay. I appreciate you checking the quality of the stream today, sweetie. Autonose came in making sure that my actual tech stuff is good. We've been working a lot behind the scenes to avoid any issues as we have appeared in the past. 2020 made me an alcoholic. Boy, howdy. So 2020 was the year I turned 21. And my birthday, oh, mind you, I was 17. That is incredibly hard. I do have a no venting rule, but I will make an exception for this because 2020 fucking sucked. And I don't think any of us can argue that. No, 2020 was awful. I turned 21 in the year 2020, and I literally, it was a month or so into lockdown, about a month and a half into lockdown. That I turned 21. I tell people all the time where it's like, yeah, I understand not having a graduation. That sucks. And I have massive respect and compassion to those who, missed out on things like that. But turning 21 was really hard. I also did lose some people, but we don't want to get too sad in this because, technically speaking, this is just the summer of 2020, the summer that never was. We're not into a lot of sad stuff yet, but I will say this story does hinge a lot on those kinds of feelings and experiences. I forget specifically if it was 21 or 22, but this game was only released about a year or so later. I can look into that later off camera, and next time we stream this, I'll inform y'all. But to my knowledge, this game was released very shortly after. I do remember I was there. I don't remember this story all that well because it was a really hard time for me in my life. But this story is written very directly after COVID, and so it's using the foreknowledge and is a very well-informed period piece of what it was like to live in 2020. So yeah. This is our beautiful protagonist. Your name is Zhen. It's pronounced more like Jen than Zen. Zhen. But most people have been determined to mispronounce your name since elementary school, so at some point you decided to go by Z, and it stuck. Zhen here is our wonderful, amazing protagonist. And I have cousins who are half Taiwanese. They have English names, but in general, I will say if you don't know how to pronounce Chinese names, highly encourage educating yourself. Any non-English speaking names. If I can have a deep Southern accent and I can pronounce Zhen, you can also do it. Alrighty, but Zhen is definitely solid COVID life up in here. We've got bottles of alcohol. We've got clothes on the floor. Car Cat's right there. We love Car Cat. Juggalos. Shout out to Juggalos. This is a mattress on a studio floor. I think it's an air mattress based on the pedal and what appears to be a gauge. Jen, just like me for real. She's girl bossing it up. Depression maxing, if you will. Stuck it to your parents, too, sorta, who endowed you with the romanization of a name which would either guarantee a lifetime of correcting people or interminably acquiesce to their wrongness. God, the romanization of, Asian names in particular is such a fascinating topic. You like Z better anyway because it's yours, not theirs. We got some non-binary swagger coming in with Z. It's roughly 3 p.m. and you have just woken up earlier than yesterday, so that's a plus. And with a bit of a hangover, but that's far from usual, or far from unusual, per se. Your bedroom is a bit messy, but you don't notice anymore. It's a cozy little depression nest, and it serves its purpose well, which is to store the body of a depressed 23-year-old woman when she's not working. Oh, God. Whilst the decor manages to accurately reflect her personality and emotional landscape. I will say, again, the decor is a bit worse for wear. She's got her posters hung up, so we've got at least that going on. And our queen has gotten up. And our music changes. The music in this game, I know I'm talking, and I know y'all are here for me, but on God, the music in this game, it is to die for. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone before even getting out of bed, and whittle away the first hour of the day scrolling through the timelines of your various accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. You stand up to stretch your legs and have a look around you to reacquaint yourself with the artifacts of your life, which have achieved invisibility through familiarity. You've had this exact arrangement of posters taped to your wall since you moved here. Before that, actually, these posters were on the wall of your dorm in college, in this exact pattern. When the time came to make your desperate getaway from campus, you ripped it off your wall in one big taped-together mass, rolled it all up, and hit the road. I will say there's something about dorm life that I don't think anyone can acknowledge that they miss. But again, there's incredible pixel quality of this. I love Car Cat right here. my beautiful forefather. Shout out to Commander Karkat, valiant war hero, amazing, honorable comrade in arms. Down? Are you down with the clown? Because I don't know if I am. And these pixel art renditions are not helping me feel very down with the clown. And then when you got here, you simply unrolled it, that big poster mess, and you put it back up. Why mess with it? Girls, very utilitarian, and we can respect that. This particular hodgepodge of pop culture nonsense says as much about yourself as you'd ever care to say using a wall. Maybe it's a consequence of the media you consume that made you feel this way, but you've always believed you can tell a lot about a person by studying the things they used to lack. In fact, you might even go as far as saying in this era, an individual's personality isn't much more than a composite of all the media they've consumed and their favorite stuff in particular. Gee, I wonder who can relate to this bullshit. We are on some clownery today, y'all. I'll tell you that much. I feel a little called out. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, no, you can tell a lot about the person by the media they consume, as you can also tell by the me that you guys are watching right now. This is a Homestuck reference. Not just the fact that Karkat is here, but the fact that Zhen is... shoot! Look at me. Zhen is looking at the wall in order to determine the quality of their own life. Also the fact that you're getting viewed a lot. Very MSP adventure. That's why whenever you meet someone new, you kind of wish you could just look at their bedroom and take a quick tour of all their interests. Sparing you a lot of laborious banter and wondering over whether someone's worth your time. Honestly, Homestuck is very autistic-coded media for this reason in particular. The ability to just peer into someone's life in a... not intrusive because it's metatextual, but, you know, the ability to see what's going on with somebody by viewing into their personal space, it gives you a lot of understanding of a person. People's things tend to really highlight who they are. I've been starting to watch Gachiakta, wonderful anime, incredible representation and story so far. I'm only a couple episodes in, so please no spoilers for me in the chat, but Gachiakta, the core theme so far is very much, you know, in a way, you are what you eat. Let me tell you about Homestuck. You guys are watching a troll right now streaming all the way from Earthsea. That's part of the reason why the technology's been such a hassle. I've been having to go between multiple universes in order to broadcast to you guys. Those old Alternian mainframes don't work like they used to, I'll tell you that. But no, the concept, like, I feel like, I don't know if I would say my home personally, like my bedroom specifically, has everything summed up, but if you walk around my home, I actually know nothing about it. Okay, well, let me tell you about Homestuck. No, we're not. Eventually, one of the plans, one of my goals, I'm gonna make this more concrete soon. You know, I'm only at 12 followers at the moment, so we've got a long way to go. But I do have a 413 follower goal, which is a live reading of Homestuck. If you have not read Homestuck, highly recommend it. It's actually really good, amazing storytelling, amazing narrative. Highly recommend it. Again, it could be certain types of content you've consumed in your past, which resulted in this philosophy, but you can't be sure. All you can do is refresh your memory on your various interests to reaffirm who you are to yourself, along with any imaginary voyeurs who have inexplicitly decided to tune into your underwhelming morning ritual. That's your Metal Gear Solid poster. You've created a number of fan works for this series, and not a single one of them is suitable for children. Very few are suitable for most adults, actually. But never mind that. You think Kojima has an advanced understanding of war, which has eluded authors far more celebrated than he. You also think Kojima has an advanced understanding of horny gay men with enormous butts, which is an asset of far greater literary value, in your opinion. Y'all remember when Smash nerfed Snake's ass? Because I do. The Insane Clown Posse, of course. You're way out of this by now, but you had a juggalo phase in high school. The reason for this decision was extraordinarily complex and layered, far over the head of anyone who would ever be inclined to wonder if you even need to ask why. Being down with the clown cannot be fully explained. You mainly keep this up as a reminder of your roots, a reminder of a philosophy towards family, which you prefer to more conventional definitions. You've had this up since 2017, which is before Post went apeshit with all the face tattoos. Increasingly these days he seems determined to look like hot garbage, and yet the uglier he gets, the far more fond of him you grow. You will never forsake this kind-hearted goblin prince. He could tattoo a dick on his face and he'd probably weep tears of joy. It's like you said when you checked out the ICP poster. You like to keep reminders of your pop cultural roots. There was a long story you read when you were young. You almost never talk about it now, but this guy is here to remind you. Whether you like it or not, it's a part of you now. This is a deep omen for what this story is about. It is not necessarily about Homestuck, but it is deeply rooted in Homestuck. The calendar marks the days for your shifts at the local restaurant, where you work as a waitress. The page is set to February 2020, but this is wrong. The pandemic sent you into an unusually bleak depression spiral, so you haven't flipped the page in months. That's right. The date is April 2020, or April 20, 2020. Jesus Christ, you guess you label a lot of these in months in advance at the beginning of the year when you were at higher spirits. A week ago today was a day relevant to a childhood interest, so you facetiously drew a little doodle to commemorate. And today, of course, is Weed Day. Not that you actually smoke weed. Blaze it! Homestuck, April 13th, Homestuck Day. Shout out to Homestuck Day. Again, this story is not about Homestuck, but it is deeply about Homestuck in the way that many people... You'll all see. But yeah, 420, I don't partake, but shout out to those who do. Mostly on account of being too lazy to bother acquiring any. But that doesn't mean the annual milestone shouldn't be solemnly honored with the gravity of a religious holiday. Honestly, 420 is Weed Day. Weed Day should be a national holiday, let's be real. As you stare at the calendar, you mostly just can't believe it's almost May already. Has it really been that long since you went back to work? You guess that must be right. Early March was the last day the restaurant was open. You've been holed up here ever since without pay. You've gotten by borrowing rent money from your friend Addie, who's also been a shut-in since the outbreak began. Not seeing her in months, not seeing anyone really, has had a very negative effect on your mental health. Probably the biggest reason you've been waking up so late these days. There's a ton of computer equipment here lying dormant. It hasn't been powered up in years, actually. Doing so would probably remind you of your college traumas. Sometimes you wonder if you will ever turn it on again. That's probably for the best. Your hacking days are behind you. A lot of those old projects you were working on could have gotten you in some serious trouble. These days, it's all about cultivating your brand. Although it hasn't been going that well. More to the point, you'd probably be the first to admit your online brand is fairly shitty. But one has to start somewhere. Rebuilding a social media presence after a series of psychologically devastating catastrophes doesn't happen overnight. Boy, tell me. I do drag on the spare time that I have, and I've only recently started streaming, and as y'all know, the technical difficulties have been getting to me. So this is an incredibly poignant reminder right now, and part of why I chose to share this story with y'all today. I feel as though many people don't even understand, the reality of which we live in today, and it's hard. It really, truly is. But, Zhen here is going to remind us how amazing it can be to be tapped in, obviously. On the floor is a printout of your manifesto. You wrote this a few years ago before your life melted down. It began as an ironic exercise, but the more you wrote, the less ironic it became. You completed it just before the series of calamitous events doubt this is a total coincidence. Since, as Abby likes to point out, only crazy people write manifestos, which is more than a little hypocritical since she's been actively writing one herself. Still, hers is pretty light reading and revolves around her secret RPF shipping theories, whereas the Jubilite Manifesto is an incendiary piece of left-wing literature that happens to revolve around unrepentant clownery. She's probably right to say it's for the best you never pick this thing up again. You stroll down special interest lane has developed an inevitable long enough, or has delayed the inevitable long enough. Time to get pulled into the vortex of your traditional wake-up scrolling. The timelines, the threads, the feeds, the comments, they won't brainlessly ogle themselves. TikTok is a disease. Social media in general is a disease. I try so hard. Oh, jeez. You pause to admire your lock screen. It's a more recent pic of your boy, Post, complete with all of his most recent, utterly grotesque tattoos. The man is looking like fresh hell. Your heart palpitates and you feel momentarily nauseous, but you regain your composure long enough to unlock your phone. Your phone unlocks. There's your background. It's gratuitously pornographic piece of fan art depicting two muscular homosexual soldiers caught in the throes of passion. Keep this one as your unlocked screen so that prying eyes in public don't get a gander of material, which some may find inappropriate. But as your wise-ass friend has pointed out, the Malone lock screen is arguably more indecent to flash in public. Y'all remember when Post Malone collabed with Pokemon? But enough dithering over your gallery of obscene males. It's time to check your accounts. Most of your effort in attempting to build a brand has gone into your Instagram account. As a new influencer trying to get your footing, you've been tinkering with something in the e-girl genre. So far you aren't doing anything too crazy. Your Dadaist impulses are what your TikTok is for. And we've got Z69 Clown Boner 420. She's got 996 followers. That's not too bad. I'm wishing I could get to that many. We've got Z, she, they pronouns, bad postmaker from Nantucket, Massachusetts. Nah, Zhen, they are the bestiest. I'm gonna move myself out of the way real quick. If I can just actually grab myself here. I'm just gonna look at my girl. They're killing it. They are absolutely killing it. We love Zhen. We love Zhen Psycholonials. Here it's mostly a bunch of tame, silly shots of you posing around the island. The boys love it when you go to the beach for some reason. Z, I wonder why boys love when an e-girl goes to the beach. They're very basic. Your like following mostly attracts a bunch of simps, reply guys, and rude remarks to the comment section. Eric B says you're ugly. Swag Doggo says we stand queen. E-boy Steve, a bunch of fire emojis. That Gerald says serving looks like a goddess. And Pickle Rick Fart says total shit. Honestly, this is why I don't do TikTok. Speaking of, here's Z's TikTok. There's no sugarcoating it. Your TikTok is just plain weird. Full of avant-garde shit posts of a humorous nature, usually performed in a completely deadpan manner. And with oblique intent to the average user of this platform, sometimes you will knowingly post cringe. Always ironically though, which as far as you're concerned, is dynamite content. And she's got 617 followers. TikTok is so fun though. TikTok is fun, but I don't recommend looking this up, but I deleted my TikTok a few years ago because on my personal account I had a post that hit over 1 million views, went a little viral. Unfortunately, this was during the Nepo Baby, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Meme is not the right word. Trend is the right word. Had a long day at work, if y'all can tell. during that Nepo baby trend where people would post their trauma and be like, I'm a Nepo baby. Unfortunately, I won't go into detail, but I was simultaneously hounded by the ED girlies and right-wing, gosh, I'm tired, right-wing anti-COVID conspiracy theorist because of an experience I had during COVID. That's all I'll say. It was incredibly weird, and I definitely don't recommend going TikTok famous because of it. Not many people understand it, the data is TikToks, though a handful of loyal simps in your follower list always seem to lap it up. Abby never misses an opportunity to reprimand you for your cringe posting. This is to be expected, though. She's a pro after all, and even you know your cringe posts are indefensible. That's entirely the point. Twitter is bad. You hardly use this account, but you keep it on hand for the sake of continuing to receive abuse? You're not sure. The doxings and harassment have finally died down over the last year, nothing close to what they were just after your meltdown. The prosecution for your past crimes is barely at a trickle now, which is a double-edged sword. They got 800 followers on this, though, just by posting balls, piss, and come on, y'all. Queen shit. Sure, it's nice to get fewer death threats, but it's also a sign that no one really cares enough to bother, which is bad for the brain. Death threats mean brand loyalty. It's been a few days since you've posted any content. The fans are getting restless. Well, not really, but they're restless in your anxious imagination. You are just shy of 1,000 followers. Maybe a new post will push it over the edge. Of course, you understand. The crowd isn't that eager for more content. You know, it's a common affliction among aspiring influencers, the need to keep pushing content out of fear their followers will get bored. As if they're a slobbering pack of wild dogs, insatiable beasts who must have more, but you're not an idiot, and you follow plenty of accounts too. And you know you could barely give a shit if even your favorite account stopped posting for a while. They can chill if they want. It simply would not affect your life. Your posting habits are more a matter of personal ethos. If you want to build a brand, the content must flow, and so you shall make it flow. But what to post? This, as always, is the burning question. You fire up TikTok because that's where the shit posts go. God knows you don't have the energy for assembling a respectable e-girl fit, or fixing up your makeup. You try to think of more funny deadpan nonsense you can bullshit your way through while lying in bed. Well, not before fixing yourself up a little. Christ, you look like hell. You fix your hair a bit. Nope, still bad. You know what? Fuck it. You're just going to use an absurd filter and crank the irony dial all the way up, looking more and more like it's going to be cringe post Monday. You start babbling incoherently. You even turned a voice filter on to maximize the cringe factor. What are you even saying? You have no idea where this is going. You play it back and yikes. It's hard to even get through the whole thing. It's dealing massive amounts of psychic damage. Perfect, actually. This is what you were going for. Let the simps grit their teeth through every second of this monstrosity, and thank you for it. Truth be told, this is the caliber of content they deserve. Yep, the reply guys are lining up to kiss your ass as always. The usual suspects every time. A little entourage of loyal and lascivious hot men. It's sort of adorable and disgusting to use simultaneously. And over here, we do see the simps are in full blast. We've got Butt McFuckles. You just posted cringe. Sir Soy. She don't miss. Neon Machine. Cringe Baby. E-Boy Steve. You just dropped a whole sack of these crowns. There's an implied milady in this one. We all know it. And that Gerald notices a true angel. low-key what I look like in the morning, y'all. Actually, maybe more disgusting than usual today. That feeling is creeping in. Disgust. Not with the boys per se, it runs deeper than that. Your post fucking sucked, and you're on the verge of regretting it. Why is it always like this, pushing out content? After hitting submit, equal odds, that sense of loathing begins to settle in. Was the post a good idea? Could it have been better? Should you just not have bothered at all? It makes you feel crazy, this media landscape. Above all, you think your disgust isn't so much about the specific post as it is with a general lack of direction and inspiration. What the fuck are you even trying to do? What are you about? This is peak COVID right here. This is 2020 summarized. No direction, no inspiration. What are you trying to do? What are you about? The psychic damage is being taken. You're too depressed to come up with answers today, but then that seems to be true every day. You log off TikTok with dismay. You're getting a DM on Discord. It's your friend Abby. Not surprising, since she almost always hits you up after you post some content, usually with some friendly critique. Today is probably no different, and you have a feeling you already know what she's going to say. We've got our girl Abby right here. Isn't it a bit early in the day to be sad, posted, and cringe? You usually have the courtesy to wait till I'm sound asleep, and you're drunk off your ass. Fuck off, I know it's cringe. So this is what it's come to? Your brand as an ironic cringe poster is congealing before my eyes. I guess it's hard to come up with, like, ideas for shit. Ain't that the truth? What are you talking about? All you do is post vids of you looking hot and saying dumb shit. Yeah! That's a hell of a brand if you can make it work, which you obviously can. At least you know what you're about. I'm still trying to figure that out. Hasn't been going out well lately. That's easy. You are also about looking hot and posting cringe, apparently. Well, not fucking hot enough. Not like you. Our girls. Chapter 1, and we are already in the throes of Bechdel test-proven lesbianism. We love Yuri. Nonsense. The sizzling bitch plastered all across my timeline begs to differ. And the gentlemen callers you've attracted to your content, they seem none too displeased. Christ. Whoa, and what's this, Z? You crossed over the 1,000-follower mark. See, you're being so down on yourself for nothing. You're well on your way to the big leagues. The fuck is this patronizing shit? Besides, how am I even on your timeline? You don't even fucking follow me. You're too embarrassed to, remember? Engage says, just ate a sweet potato pie and it reminded me of you because it felt southern. Shout out to being southern. Can't help it. That is where I am from, is the deep south. I grew up in the woods. Because it would hurt your brand if people could check your follow list and see my freak ass there with all my past baggage. Aw, that's not fair. You know the game, Z. How many of your fucking 3 million followers would you really lose if you followed me? I do follow you with an alt. You know this. I mean on your main, Abby. Oh, God. This is not really that toxic yet. We're not in toxic Yuri throes. But we're at the social media. This is just like something I really want to condemn Andrew Hussey for is that they're really good at making period pieces that really do fit the time that they're designed in. Homestuck is actually technically designed as a period piece. Hussey has gone on record to say that was their intent, and she's done it again with Psycholonials. This is peak COVID, and honestly, today I feel like a lot of people still treat social media as this kind of game. What would it cost you realistically if I just showed up on that list? No fanfare, no shout-outs, or any bullshit like that. Just one friend following another because she's got her back. You lose what? Maybe a few grand, maybe? Even then, it'd just be a handful of snarling cunts you don't need stinking up the joint anyway. It's not even about that. It's about keeping the discourse down. Come on. I mean, not to sound like a bitch, but I couldn't handle the shit you went through. You know damn well we both got the same kind of dirt on us, but what? Dirt? Dirt? The Yuri is getting more toxic, I see. The only Yuri I want is toxic Yuri. That is so true. We love Yuri. We love the toxicity of lesbians. I am so excited for the way their relationship would play out. But you already fucked yourself up, and I'm still keeping a lid on it all, like delicately. And if you thought it was rough for you, think about what it would be like for me at my level of visibility. Oh, I see how it fucking is. You're too famous, so you'd fall harder than I did. It's fine I got thrown to the wolves because I'm a nobody, right? Ugh. No, I mean, like, I had to go to the fucking hospital, Abby. Okay, fuck, I'll follow you. Jesus. I was just messing with you. Why do you have to turn it into such a serious thing? I don't know. Going over to the hospital for some internet drama makes me think that there's a lot more at play here. We shall see more into Zhen's backstory, obviously, but this is juice right here. It's fine, actually. Don't follow me. I know exactly why you don't. I'm just being shitty because I'm in a bad mood. You're right, of course. If it triggered discourse, I'd be the one to take most of the heat anyway. I just need to keep piecing my brand together the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned? Like horse and carriage shit? Yes, Abby, that's exactly what I mean. Like how people used to cultivate their social media platforms when everybody owned horses. What? Horses? I was fucking joking. Just figure out what I'm trying to do or say here. And let people who are into that come to me naturally. The type of people who wouldn't give a fuck about what my past is like. Ugh, yeah, I know you were joking. Can we please just let it go unsaid for once? That we always both know when we're joking. We always joking. We get the shit. We are not basic bitches. Yeah, I know you know. My dry response to you was also a joke, idiot. And can you cool it on the key smashing? I'm still fucking hungover, and it's like the Texan equivalent of listening to noisy traffic. Chaotic juxtaposition dharma. Huh? Auto-corrected. Key mash exclamation. To take the edge off for my poor and feeble friend. Oh. I do that sometimes. It is one of my good goofs, as you know. Whenever you do that, it's only funny to you. It's just confusing to everyone else. No, it's objectively hilarious to all involved. Has anyone ever not been confused when you do it? Well, as if I even ever talk to anyone much but you. At least maybe when we can agree the notion of chaotic juxtaposition dharma sounds pretty cool, whatever that even means. Fuck yeah. It's why I thought you might be bringing up a worthwhile topic rather than continuing to destroy my morning with your useless brain garbage. LMAO morning. It's almost fucking 4 her, bitch. Good point. I gotta get going. Okay, any sign of you going back to work yet? Nah, thinking that job is toast for good. Shit, why? For a while I was hearing stuff from the owner about reopening the restaurant and getting ready for the summer. But I haven't heard from her in weeks. I think she might have given up on the whole idea there will even be a tourist season and just left the fucking island. Or maybe she just got the Rona and died. Fuck. COVID. It's fine, I don't really care. Okay, but what about rent? You need me to send you more money, or... No, I'm alright. I think I just won't pay rent this time. I don't even give a fuck anymore. What's this idiot gonna do? Evict me? Good luck with that, bro. Incredible attitude. I love you. We stand an unbothered queen. Okay, gonna go eat some shit right now because I feel bad. You head to the kitchen, which isn't in much better shape than your bedroom. You pause to consider that the only reason it isn't quite as disastrous is because you spend so little time in here. You make occasional trips to peruse your scant supply of food or your copious supply of alcohol. Then, more often than not, it's right back to bed. This fridge is a total wasteland. It's hard to get out of for grocery shopping. Shelter in place has warped your lifestyle beyond recognition. Much easier to order shit when money has been running low and hitting Abby up for cash gets old. There's a pot of Kraft macaroni you think you made, 5 days ago? It looks like absolute shit, but it will have to do. You heat it up on the stove for a couple minutes, then bring it to the kitchen table for consumption directly out of the pot. This is a depression meal of the ages. You make a mental note that this depression meal life hack could make for some decent ironic TikTok content. Nah, needs more work. First, you would heat up the week-old macaroni, then to save time, you transport the pot outside and put the entire thing directly into a garbage can. Then, to save even more time, you curl up in a nearby bush and patiently wait to pass away. Yeah, that sounds better. Not today, though, because you already shot your TikTok shot. On second thought, that idea barely even counts as a joke. Realistically, this meal belongs nowhere except the dumpster. The macaroni is practically inedible. You force a few more mouthfuls just for the sake of preventing some of your internal organs from shutting down due to malnutrition and put it aside. What next? Oh yeah, you might as well get an early start. This bottle of whiskey is already open anyway. That's because it's the same bottle you opened yesterday. Oh, jeez. To be fair, so many people I've talked to talk about COVID hobbies they got into and, all kinds of things they were doing. I don't know if I would say I was hit the worst I've ever experienced in my life because of COVID directly. That was a hard time in my life, not just because of COVID, but specifically in regards to gaining any COVID hobbies. No, I was solely in that COVID depression grind. This is me circa 6 years ago. Now that breakfast is over, it's time for your phase 2. It's time for phase 2 of the day to kick into gear. Keeping yourself alive is hard work. Making such a healthy breakfast every morning is really taxing, and it takes a lot out of you. A couple spoons, as the emotionally brittle millennials like to call them. Right down the drain, just like that. When you're low on spoons, the only thing for it is to recharge with another session of mindless scrolling on your phone. Do you enjoy it? Hell no, but spoons don't grow on trees, and the invisible spoonometer, which probably floats over your head, seems to respond favorably to practice. Oh, spoony theory, don't fail me now. Scrolling. Some drama brewing over here, some discourse ramping up over there. Fuck these people. Absolutely fuck every single one of them and all the infantile shit they argue over. Trump did what now? Who fucking cares? Democracy is over. Moving on. Wait, what's this? Another senile rapist is challenging him for the presidency? Be still, your beating heart. Oh, Zhen, you don't even want to know what it's gonna be like in 6 years when it comes to that orange piece of crap. Or all the old, terrible men. I don't even know where to begin with that one. They would light all of this into a Molotov cocktail if they knew what was going on, trust me. Your attention turns to the comments. Your posts have been racking up, even on old posts. There are always a few new replies to check out for a laugh. Well, you've got Candace Schmandis. LMAO, do any of you disgusted psychophants even know who this bitch is? Do you know what she did? I'm gonna assume that if you're willing to follow this cunt, it's only on account of ignorance, but if you continue to follow her after you see all the receipts, then I can only assume you're... Who is this bitch talking shit in your mentions? Oh no, a chill runs down your spine. This is one of the nightmare people who helped cancel you a few she's got a couple thousand followers too, and our girl Zhen only had a couple hundred, like 700. Or well, Abby said she just hit over 1,000, but to go after somebody with a sixth of the amount of followers of you on Instagram, like, this girl truly can't let anything go. You thought she got bored of you, but it looks like she's at it again. She's working hard to dredge up your problematic past to make sure anyone who didn't realize you did that stuff stays well informed. What a service she is doing for the public. You simply block the vile heartbeat and continue scrolling. People like her tend to be hit and run trolls. Sure, it's still somewhat triggering to see them rear their heads now and then, but it's pretty rare these days. The followers with the real staying power, of course, are the reply guys, the merry little band of lonely boys who flutter near your flame. Y'all, I don't know how to go about this in a nice way, but like, honestly, like, there is something deeply to be said. Like, when I said this story is about Homestuck, but it's not about Homestuck, like, this is so true in the sense of, like, people just don't understand how you can, you know, get through things. Like, I've never done anything too crazy problematic, but everybody has lives. And at the end of the day, some of the things people get canceled for, you know, we don't really know what Jen's got canceled for. We just know it's something problematic. But right now, there's a lot of commentary on social media, and, you know, truly, this is just a person. You know, she's got some clear issues if she went to the hospital over being canceled. You know, it could have been something very serious. We still don't know, but, you know, at least right now, we're being shown a pretty sympathetic character. She's in the throes of depression. You know, they don't really have a way out from things. It's a modest simp farm, as you've come to regard it. God bless them. God bless the simps. That's the American dream, right? To own a nice little farm. You can herd anything on your quaint plot of land, a humble patch of dirt the founding fathers died to bequeath you. They died for your right to harvest simps. Maybe they weren't half bad. Well, no, they were. You're just an enterprising woman making the best of a series of ill-intended, imperious blunders, which took place several centuries ago. You guess that's all anyone's doing, really. These boys, though, they aren't genocidal frauds who stain the history books of your public education. They're mostly just a bunch of harmless randy fools. You're almost fond of them against your better judgment. You wonder how many members of this little flock happen to live here on the island. Probably nobody, since you have so few followers. You guess some of Abby's followers might actually live here, though. Actually, it's more than likely, since Abby lives here too. She's probably got a few simps who are thrilled to be living on the same small island with such a sexy and popular influencer. Could the same basic principle apply to you on a smaller scale? Someone following you just because he happened to notice you're local? Not out of the question, you linger on the idea. The 1,000 people who follow you, they lack you, right? Ostensibly, this is why people follow each other. The hate which has chased you around has obscured this truth, but it seems likely this is how normal people operate. That's kind of incredible for you to dwell on, that these people actually like you. Feels like a miracle that anyone would. Girl, we need to get you some mental help. You poor, poor girl. You're certain that this list overwhelmingly consists of cis-het males. You wonder how many of them are attractive. Can't possibly be more than a precious handful. You try to imagine these kings, these magnificent jewels in the rough, that they would bother following you, a complete loser and shithead with a bad attitude and even worse content, while they have the audacity to be good-looking, probably sensitive and misunderstood. You realize you're getting drunk enough to wonder if it's a good idea to reach out to your followers through a story post to see if anyone's nearby. The concept of a cishet man. The concept of a cishet man. Truer words have never been spoken. Terrible, terrible, terrible things. We can't cannot stand by and allow that to happen. We cannot stand by and allow the cishet men. Truly, she is drunk to consider cishet men. Actually, that is not true. You don't wonder if it's a good idea. Anatono says, late to this, but yes, we love Madoka level toxic Yuri. We'll see if this is Madoka level. You know, jury's still out. They're only texting each other as far as we know. I mean, one of them is a rich, loaded, 3 million follower influencer living on, you know, Nantucket. You know, it's pretty obvious it's Nantucket. If it's not Nantucket, it might be Martha's Vineyard. Is Martha's Vineyard Nantucket? I don't really know. Unfortunately, Hamura is just like me for real. Oh, no. Real. My partner and I, we try to figure out who is the Madoka and who is the Hamura. We're figuring that out day by day. But anyway, no. This poor girl in true depression throes. Thinking about men, sad. You know, when she has a rich, you know, sugar mama, basically. She's got herself a little bit of sugar going on. You know, from a girl her age, too. You know, you get a sugar mama or a sugar daddy that's your age. Props to you. You know, and actually that's not true. You don't wonder if it's a good idea. You're perfectly aware it isn't. What you mean is you're getting drunk enough to know it's a bad idea, but do it anyway. Why waste another second bullshitting yourself about it? You know you're going to end up caving to yourself in the mental debate. So you cut to the chase and just do it. You prepare a cunning thirst trap and post it to your story. You check your DMs, and within minutes you collect about a dozen messages, all from the usual simpy suspects. Guys you are expecting to reply from no matter where they live. Really predictable shit going on here. Zhen is going to be me this weekend. That's so real and true, but please don't. Girl, respect yourself. In the comments, don't do this. Don't do this. Respect yourselves, please. Don't trap the simps. Something about this dude's face and demeanor pisses you off for reasons you can't put your fingers on, so you block him. Most of these replies are completely useless. I'm in Brazil, but visiting as soon as I can. Y'all, look at his face. There is something about Andrew Hussey's artistic level that truly can make the most piss-offable man. And then, hang on, one guy here says he's from Brooklyn, Massachusetts. That's not far off, actually. There's something to work with here. We've got Percy of Hyrule. We've got a Legend of Zelda fan. Much depends on how invested this guy is. Maybe you could rope him into coming to the island soon. Ferry schedules vary throughout the year, but there's practically always one depicted from Hyannis, which is probably about an hour's drive from Brooklyn. Maybe he could even make the trip today if his desperation level's high enough. But then it all depends on whether he's worth bothering with, doesn't it? It's quite a puzzle thinking about the factors in play. If he's hot enough, his desperation index could be very low. It might be like pulling teeth getting him down here, which would kill the impulsive allure of this dumb shit stunt. But if he's cool with it, but if he's a ghoul, Jesus Christ, I can read, y'all. If he's a ghoul, you could probably get him to swim here. But then if that's the case, why would you go to such lengths to debase yourself like this? Why, indeed? It's an eternally rhetorical question, of course. Of course you would. Your thoughts turn again to your idol, dear, sweet post. A complete swamp goblin of a man, and yet, if he were in your kitchen right now, you would have no doubt you'd ravage the poor fellow. He would probably be afraid of you. It would be better if he were afraid of you. That's a normal Post Malone reaction, honestly. At least when he was in his bear phase. Your secret wish is that one day you hope to strike sexual intimidation into the heart of an American singer-songwriter, rapper, record producer, and actor known for his introspective songwriting and laconic vocal style. Not that you would ever make such a controversial remarks out loud. Not again, anyway. Not if you hope to have a brand someday. Fuck it, you say. You only get to ruin your life once, or sometimes many times in rapid succession. But if that's the case, you like to think of it all as one long, grand act of ruination. And if you're really committed to daisy chaining a series of life-hobbling mistakes together, you might as well make it count. Brookline's not too far. Yeah, just a drive and then a ferry. Yeah, I've never been there. Okay, don't really care. Girl, you are drunk. Winter says, hi, hello Winter, welcome back to the year 2020. It is solid COVID times up in this bitch. OMG, stop fucking typing, Percy. Clown. God, lol. Over there writing a goddamn graduate thesis like a complex, well-articulated response is going to mean fucking shit to me. Okay. Insane. Who do you think you are? I don't know, just the guy who likes your content. My content is fucking trash and you know it. Fun. You know what? I'm taking a shot. Take a shot with our girl in moderation. Respect yourselves, chat. Respect yourselves. Again, this story is 18 plus. And yeah, no, we are definitely dealing with true COVID levels of depression, and it is something. For sure. Winter, please make sure that you love yourself. We need mods and streamers like you. Most of my followers probably already follow Winter, but if not, highly recommend the dude. He is fantastic and also short. I will continue to die on that hill because you're shorter than me, and therefore you're short. But anyway, back to the depression moments. Not really. You look good. Percy. Dumb name. Sounds like the name of a cuck. I'm not really getting this. Do you really mean all these insults, or is this part of a... Is this what you're into? Imagine being short. Imagine being short. Can't relate. Jesus Christ, Percy, shut the fuck up. I still have no idea if this is a good idea or if you're a waste of my fucking time. Haha, alright. I'm going to choose not to take any of this personally, since you can't possibly know enough about me to form meaningfully negative opinions. Holy fucking shit, we got a lady killer over here. Girl, you are drunk. You are drunk and going on comp pet for real right now. Percy, I'm flying through these panties. They just keep getting soaked due to your amorous repartee. Wow. Moron. Can you just send me a pic already? Oh yeah, hang on. The most generic man in existence. This selfie is corny AF. Fail. Bad. Sorry. Those ellipses you put before sorry are also corny. Don't get cute with me like, fuck, I'm not getting it. Do you think you're useful or whatever? Or charming? Like, you don't matter. Your little idiosyncrasies and quirks of personality do not matter. She is getting drunker. Like, I love Z, but they really do need to take off your... Let's see if the simp follows suit. Zhen is making so many bad decisions. This is truly a chapter 1 worth dying for. Some self-respect. Please have self-respect. See, this is the appropriate reaction. Well, no, she's kind of into it, unfortunately. Okay, no, they're not that into it. Thank God. I love that. Thank God. Oh no, you aren't gonna upset me. I get it now. You just like talking shit. It's your thing. That's cool. Go ahead and tell me how bad I look. I can take it. No, cuck. I'm not fucking with you. You literally just made me laugh so hard I puked in my macaroni. Oh my god, y'all. They did. Self-respect? Who's that? Please have self-respect. We encourage love and kindness, y'all. That's not true, but good one. You did, that dumb fuck face. You simp-ass fuckboy Casanova face. Dipshit, you're so dumb.
I lulled so much I barfed, and also I drank too much. Well, you definitely do seem drunk. But I still don't think I believe you. I don't think you barfed. I think you're saying that for comical effect to own me, if you will. You suck so bad, Percy. Little shirtless baby boy from Brookline, Percy. Simpy Percy nips out. Mommy would be so proud of you. Checked out this out, stupid, and it's the mac and cheese. Okay, I believe you puked. Good one. You alright though? No man, this isn't happening. What is it? We aren't bonding over my macaroni puke. Like, this isn't a moment we're having. We aren't becoming friends, and you aren't gonna fuck me. Bye, Percy. The shenanigan is complete, you suppose. It can be a rush to pull shit like this. For reasons you couldn't really explain, but the rush is always short-lived. What soon fills the void it leaves behind is that unmistakable feeling of self-loathing and disgust. I'm a Percy stan, not gonna lie. We'll see more of Percy. I will spoil that a little bit. We will see more of Percy. God, but this is the face of a she-they who just regrets everything right now. And honestly, if there's nothing more COVID than just regretting everything, I don't know what is. It's all a joke, isn't it? Your life, your brand. Come to think of it, you're not sure which of those two words is more deserving of derisive quotes. Maybe your quest to build a brand is childish, more vainglorious, clout-seeking, contributed to the loud and labored rast of Western civilization's last dinosaurial grasp. Maybe you should just delete all your accounts. It's not the first time you've had this thought, but it will be the last. The last thought you have before you pass out, that is. Alrighty, y'all. The music has changed. Manifesto is brought back on the screen. Zhen is having an out-of-body experience. Z is acknowledging their life for what it truly is. They are living the summer that never was. Only crazy people write manifestos, as their good friend Abby once said. And that manifesto surrounds them, engulfs them. I'll leave for a second. Oh, you know, just astral projection, acknowledging the manifesto, and acknowledging the universe that surrounds us. Zhen is coming face to face with their destiny. Your work is unfinished. That was a hell of a dream. You haven't had one like that in years. Is that a God. We know that Zhen and Z, we know that they have the manifesto, the Jubilee Manifesto. And we know that that thought consumes them, as well as whoever that dead person was. That was a hell of a dream. You haven't had one like that in years. Not since all that terrible stuff was happening in your life. Not since your dad was sick and you were deliriously hammering away at your manifesto. So it's not that surprising that the dream included both. So that corpse that we saw was their dad. Their dad was sick years ago. You hate dreaming about him, always with the body horror shit. And then at the end, a strange man floating in space, the ephemeral muse himself. Could he really be back? Wait, what time is it? Oh God, it's dark. How long did you black out? It looks like Abby's already trying, messaging you a couple times. Your head hurts and your mouth still tastes like cheese-flavored barf. We get our first look at our girl Abby, ending on a good note. Wow, you look like fucking shit. Thanks. Everything okay? I puked in a pot of macaroni and fell asleep for a few hours. Now it's dark. Really productive day all around. Z, girl, please love yourself. Oh yeah, I also have some vague recollection of tormenting a semi-local simp who slid into my DMs. LOL slid, I saw your thirst trap, fool. It seemed unusually desperate even by your standards. Made me worry. So you started pelting my unconscious body with chat invites? It's cool you're my mom now. Well, somebody has to be. The hag who physically birthed you fucked off, right? The fucking off was mutual. When was the last time she talked to you? Not since the incident. Works fine for me. You can be my mom. You're much hotter, and you have much more clout anyway. True, true. As if I could spare a single precious second of my day for ugly bitches. LMAO, whereas ugly men are obviously a different story. Obviously. Is Post Malone still your lock screen? Yeah. You've got the shit all backwards. The nasty NSFW art should be your lock screen and Post should be the unlock. So much more embarrassing and obscene if anybody catches you in public with Post on your phone. So you've said. You're right, of course, but I don't give a shit. I love him. He's a sublime gargoyle. Exquisite heat, human garbage, the perfect affront to all my senses. Haha, your taste is so bad, you're completely unfathomable. It's like, you need a 0 or a 10 and that's it. Anything between and you're like contemptuously asexual. Not inaccurate. What about this simp you were toying with? How'd he look? Average, a little below maybe. Real uncanny valley stuff, totally standard reply boy fare. He might have been nice though, I don't remember. Lol, they're always nice, doesn't mean shit. I know. You said he's local? You going anywhere with this or pulling the plug? The latter, I'm sure. Maybe you should modify your standards a bit and reel him in. We're in fucking quarantine lockdown, Abby, so this is all kinda overblown. Abby COVID denier. We got Lima likes Homestuck in chat. Hi. Hi, Lima. We are currently in the throes of some toxic Yuri, as you can see here. Lima, Abby, our girl, our beautiful 3 million follower sugar mommy, unfortunately, is encouraging hanging out with a man, a cishet man of all truth and terror that entails. We aren't supposed to, like, go out to concerts and shit and get sneezed on by huge groups of people or whatever. I don't see much harm in hanging out with a few people on an individual basis from time to time. Don't be a COVID denier, Abby. And by this, I assume you mean... What, you think I haven't been keeping myself entertained? I still have people over all the time. Pretty dumb shit, Abs. What, are you surprised to hear you're still an atrocious slut? Not at all, but your parents are supposed to be the ones claimed by the boomer remover, not you. You can't just die off before you take all their money. That's so real. Please don't do that to me. I'll be fine. I get a little cough and that's it. Big deal. Oh wait, maybe then I can infect them. Oh, actually now you're using that fucking brain for once. Seriously though, when's the last time you hooked up with anybody? I seem to remember you were very busy, what, last summer? I guess that was the last time. Haven't really been in the mood since then.
You kept updating me on the revolting door of weird dudes you were picking up from the restaurant. I missed that. The stories were good. Yeah, it was a real circus in here for a while, but I don't need shit like that in my life at the moment. Did your boss even know you were picking up the gross male customers? Some of the Psycholonial images have very good potential of becoming reaction images. Lima, you're so right. Like, this is me for real, honestly. This is my girl right here. We love her. Honestly, someone brought up Madoka and Homura earlier. Leaf Gage brought up Madoka Magica. Over the course of Psycholonials, I am gonna ask y'all in the chat to tell me who is the Madoka and who is the Homura. Because right now, especially with Zhen being in their psychological desperations of depression, Z definitely has very much Homura energy for me. You know, while Abby is very much chipper and Madoka-esque. However, I don't know if I can see Madoka being a COVID denier, or at least someone who's not taking COVID as seriously as they should, because Madoka cares too much. So just putting that thought out there. Sound off in chat if you think Abby and Z are more Homura or more Madoka. As far as I know, she never found out. Doesn't matter, she's dead now anyway. What? Did you hear something or... No, it's just reality I've chosen to believe in. Pretty sure I'm quitting that job even if she reappears. I don't give a fuck anymore. Good move. I highly recommend not having a job and never planning to have one in the future ever. Oh god, I wish I could quit my job. You're rich. I also highly recommend being rich. Sorry, but my brain turned off during everything that you said. I was just going off on Madoka, Homura, Yuri adjacent moments. We're working on being rich. It's not hard enough, apparently. You got a straight-up shot to riches right here, bitch. Just marry into my fortune. Won't even make you sign a prenup. Just quit, queen. No, seriously. Literally, girl is saying, quit your job, marry me, I'm rich. I think maybe we got it backwards. This, maybe, I do not recommend being Brazilian. I think this, perhaps, is the girl we all need in our lives. You know? We all just need a beautiful lesbian girl to come be rich and whisk us away. That's super generous, but no thanks. I want to make my millions the honest way, by helping you rip off your parents. Yeah, but all that does is give me their money, whereas that leaves you without the marriage certificate. Huh? Oh, that's easy. You'll just give it to me because you wanna. I mean, yeah, probably. Z, I'll miss that restaurant if you never go wait tables there again. I won't. It's where we met, remember? Yup. Why didn't you pick me up that day, huh? Why'd you have to friendzone me so hard? Fucking brutal. Because you're an ugly rich cunt and I probably thought you looked smelly that day. Bullshit, you dragged every sewer creature you waited on back there to your place. Lol, you have the audacity to call me a slut. You are. So were you. I'm really not a slut, per se, so much as a person with an especially punitive set of self-harming patterns. Are people who give a shit. This girl, she give a shit. I don't know what to tell you. If you hate yourself so much, why not self-harm a bit with me sometime? Because I'm a filthy homophobe. This is a matter of public record, remember? No, you're not. Sure I am. I hate gays. No, you don't. For anyone who's tuning in, Z does have she, they in her bio on her accounts when we saw the social media accounts earlier. And again, they are obvious. This is obvious lesbianism going on. Well, you're gay and I hate you. I'm not even gay. You're gay, though. Don't erase my bisexuality. We love a bi queen. I'm so sorry for calling her a lesbian. We don't erase bisexuality in this chat. I'll erase whatever the fuck I want. Wow, I like it. If we ever actually slept together, I'd fucking annihilate your bisexuality. You'd become a permanent lesbian. Whoa, Z. This is getting out of hand. This will never happen, Abby. I'm deeply committed to being a problematically homophobic, heterosexual piece of shit who sometimes enjoys the company of ambiguously reptilian men. Besides, you're my mom, remember? I'm doing bi-erasure as we speak. No bi-erasure. They're lesbians, but they're bisexual, and they can be both. Bi-lesbians are real, and they can hurt you. But they also can and should fall in love, and that's what's going on right now. Oh yeah, I can't exactly fuck my mom now, can I? I'm deep enough into cancellation purgatory as it is. Yeah, I would never do it to you. As my daughter, you are my responsibility, seeing as we now clearly no longer care about quarantine so that I can catch this disease ASAP and kill my parents. Why don't you come over tonight? I can cook something for you. Probably something better than macaroni barf. My mother just is invincible to bi-erasure, like she's been bi for over 20 years. Shout out to bisexual parents. Okay, work. My place is huge and expensive and extremely empty. Doesn't that sound better than wallowing in your nasty little depression cave? I guess. Maybe we could snap some content by the beach tomorrow. You know how the simps always love the beach shit. Yeah, but I don't think I'll be putting out content like that anymore. I'm thinking of revamping the whole brand. Oh, every demographic, Neil Sig. I'm thinking of revamping the whole brand. Oh, yeah, I just had this crazy dream. It was so wild. I think my subconscious was trying to tell me something important. I don't know if it's a good idea, technically, but I think I'm obligated to do it now. The shit was too powerful to just write off. Remember my manifesto? Oh, God, that thing? Yeah, I know. It's all pretty out there, but I think there's something to work with there. Trans icon, the cis person. T. Honestly, T, that's my fiance. He's regrettably cis, not to out the man, but most people know that in real life when we meet people that one of us is non-binary, and they always assume it's him. And it's like, y'all, is it because he's short? Is it because he's shorter than me? Non-binary people don't come in one shape and size, y'all. It's all pretty out there, but I think there's something to work with there. Well, if it gets you to come over here and helps you pull yourself together, then I'm all for it. I support you no matter what. What a pal. The true test of friendship is if you can humor each other's manifestos. Well, you'll humor mine, don't you? Oh yeah, I'm all fucking about the truth of Jim Cook's secret romance. LOL, G Cook actually, but yes, thank you for your crucial support. I will say, your place is the fucking bomb. Do you think your parents will vacation there again this summer? Sometimes I like to do an Eric Cartman impression and say, I am transgender. Oh no. Not the South Park references. Or are they Rona spooked like everyone else? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they hunkered down at the family compound all summer. Good riddance if so. Still amazes me they're okay with you just squatting in their $10 million vacation home like permanently. What are they even gonna do about it? I have the keys and I'm a grown woman who does as she pleases. No argument with that. But they must feel like they're getting a great return on that Harvard biz degree they bought you. Yeah, fuck that. I'm doing some numbers, motherfucker. My brand is popping. Something tells me they're unimpressed by your meteorically accumulated clout. Yeah, they take a huge boomer shit all over any chance they get. I really wonder what they're like. Wanted? What were they picturing? I would leave school and slide into an Amazon VP spot or some shit. They probably could have made something like that happen if you were so inclined. I mean, maybe, but what the fuck do they think business is? I'm doing business here. People like my brand. This is how you make shit happen. Like, I can build on this to whatever. Like, later, I don't even need my fucking degree. At least you finished it. Which mainly served the purpose of starving off their massive disappointment in you. Instead, they're only mildly disappointed. Yeah, I'm sorry about all that. It's alright. I ended up saving them a lot of money by psychologically imploding halfway through. My tea is actually super expensive if you weren't aware. Oh yeah, one time my parents looked into buying it.
Lord have mercy.
I mean, tuition, you buffoon. I know, God, see, remember we promised to always know when we're joking? Oh yeah, anyway, it's not like they had that kind of money your parents did to throw at an expensive education. They had to work hard for that, as they reminded me often. I'll be an eternal failure to them, which means they're failures too. Oh well, the problem half solved itself, so who really gives a fuck, huh? I strongly recommend having at least one dead parent. Oh. 2 is ideal, but what can you do? Aside from contemplating casual biological warfare? Yeah, my mom would never succumb to the Rona, though, not her Sal. Still so funny to me that your plan to get away from all that laugh drama was to come here of all places. All melodramatically, like, fuck this life, I'm running away to an island. Which makes you think of, like, a remote island in the Pacific or something. Yeah, I mean, that was the plan. At one point I was looking at Guam, then I settled on Fiji as the ideal getaway place, but that didn't really pan out. Fiji sounds nice. Yeah, Fiji's the fucking shit. But then, you just hopped on a ferry to the nearest island impossible. It was cheap. Poor, remember? Well, you think she still keeps up with you, like spies on your accounts? I'm sure Mom has no idea they even exist. And Lima says, I don't want to be a bilingual piece of shit, so I'm becoming a trilingual piece of shit. I'm learning Tokipona. Hell yeah, we love languages. I am also bilingual in chat, to let y'all know. I've mentioned a couple times, but my job outside of streaming is sign language interpreting. I know English and ASL, and I know a little Spanish, but not enough to get that far. It was almost a moot point, though, before my insane dream. I was just thinking about deleting them all. What? I just get that way sometimes. Aside from my crazy ideas, which should probably never see the light of day, I'm actually just so fucking boring. No, you're so funny. You are such an untapped resource. It's a crime you've been going to waste. I know you've been through some shit, but there are ways to reground from that. Homestuck Lipona. Okay, good to know. Yeah, but I still agonize stupidly and wonder if I should just question the source of this torment. The internet is fucking insane. It just sits there as a benevolent temptation. This massive, ominously humming well of satanic potential, just beckoning you constantly. And if you aren't using it in some way to make yourself something of yourself or elevate your identity somehow, it makes you feel like you're wasting a huge opportunity or something. Or even wasting your laugh. It's like you were just saying. Like, I'm so funny and therefore it's a waste if I just fucking log off. But a waste of what? The system makes me feel like I'm wasting a resource by withholding myself from the system. But what if the system is what's wasted me? Damn. So maybe I should listen to that sane voice inside my head instead of the insane one. Forget that weird dream. Just delete all this shit and try to go and get my life together in a more normal way. That's all totally fair. I hear you, but even if you wanted to go full normie, it's not like society is even functioning normally right now anyway. God damn it, you're right. I'm not trying to invalidate you here, just saying, like, wait, hang on, before you decide on anything, I want to show you something. I am genuinely scared of Instagram Reels user. An Instagram user released a song named Kim Jong-un some weeks ago. Oh, Lord. And I will say, y'all, I plan to stream only for about an hour today, and we've definitely been over that timeline-wise. So, before Abby is able to show us everything that she needs, I will be popping off here in a minute. If y'all give me 1 second to just make sure we actually save the game real quick here. Alright, 1 moment, real quick. Alrighty, y'all. So, we are going to be ending the stream today. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Psycholonials is an amazing piece of, a timestamp, honestly. It's an amazing period piece, and I'm very grateful that COVID is no longer a thing in our lives. This story truly goes through a lot of mental health things, and I want to make sure that y'all know, if you are going through anything, don't be afraid to reach out for help to those you care for. We are no longer in the COVID times anymore. I know things are still really hard, but I want to end on a light and positive and happy note. So, yeah, I'm glad that, things are over. I low-key want to see how COVID 26 will be, though. Yeah, we are solidly out of here, and, both in terms of leaving 2020 behind and also leaving this stream behind for the day. Thank you all for this trip down memory lane. I know it can be a hard one. So, yeah, just remember to keep going on. And, yeah, if you want, in my Twitch, I have my Instagram and my Discord profile linked. This should be, now that, stream quality is finally pretty good, it seems, today, this should be one of the first videos I'm going to actually post to my account. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see y'all next time.